Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by myself, Vulcan, and Atkpwr.
Hey everyone, Atkpwr here, excited for more Steel Division 2 fun.
In this video we have for you game 1 of the best of 3 between Ghosty and Mimile in the semi-finals of the Steel Division League Division 1 Season 11 playoffs. Today they are playing on Brest West, and on our left in the red team we have Ghosty playing with the 78 Sturm on the Axis side with the balanced deployment type. And on our right in the blue team we have Mimile playing with the 17th SS on the Axis side with the Juggernaut deployment type. Almost forgot what it was. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the quarterfinals that haven't been shown on my channel, make sure to go check them out on Atkpwr's channel. If you're already on Atkpwr's channel, that's great. But yeah, what do you have to say about these divisions, Mr. Atkpwr?
Thanks for the shout out, Vulcan. So yeah, definitely interesting here. So 17th SS, quantifiably one of the best Axis divisions. Really odd again that it's not being banned. Really odd that he chose Juggernaut, but I know what happened. Ghosty picked Balance, he picked Juggernaut. Okay, makes sense. Brest West is a terrible map. It's very unfair. It's heavily slanted to red side. That hill gives you a really strong overview of the entire map. It's a very strong position. But 78 Sturm, an interesting choice here to... So I guess it would appear that, Mimile picked first and Ghosty counterpicked with 78 Sturm. I'm not sure. I mean, both are solid divisions. 17th much stronger than 78th overall. And 78th is actually really bad against like armored car rush and stuff. So it's just all very strange. But yeah, good divisions overall. Strong infantry. Better CQC out of Mimile's deck, out of 17th SS. But yeah, that stronger long range out of Ghosty's in terms of infantry, which Brest West is a lot of. So yeah, I don't know.
Let's have a quick look at what they're getting down. So for Ghosty on the left-hand side at the top, he has the Panzerschreck Begleit T26. It might look a bit weird that he's not placing those on the road, but he's going to travel to that road on the top side so that he can get positioning on the high ground. Then we have further down the Sturmschützen, the Begleitgren, the Schützenführer with a Stug 3 at 2 vet, the Pak 40, MG42, and IG18. Further down, MG42, Sturmschützen, Flak 43, Marder 2, and Begleit. And on the very bottom side, we got the Flammenwerfer team and the Panzer T26. Up on the top right for Mimile, we have a bunch of Flamers backed up by SS Legionary with the Pioneer Führer in there, some Volksdeutsche, and some 233 SBWs. Very nice. We've got the SBW 233 further down with the Flammenwerfer double Panzergren, a couple of Volksdeutsche to hold the center, and on the very bottom side, more of these armored cars. The Aufklärer coming in the 222, the SBW 233, we got the Legionary, Panzergrens, and a Marder 3. So pretty nice setup. Both sides going for these sort of cheaper tank destroyers and supported by plenty of early game infantry.
Yeah, 78 Sturm's big struggle. It doesn't really have light AT. That's its big issue. So that's why it struggles so much against armored cars and things. And that's why I'm assuming Mimile's really going all in. He's got 6 SPW 233s out, 5 SPW 233s out, which is a lot. So it'll be interesting how this plays out early. It really is kind of up to Mimile to survive this early rush. Although both players on super slow incomes, so can only be so rushy, I guess.
Yeah. Mimile, basically brought in his whole card of those SPW 233s. They are very, very strong, though, as you say, and hopefully he'll get some decent value out of them. The Marder will be ready to shut them down on the bottom side, at least. FI-156 in the sky, going to get forced off by the Flak 43, so not too much free information for Mimile there. It will likely actually go down. Pioneer Führer creeping towards the Flammenwerfer. That would be unfortunate if it got flamed out.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that Pioneer Führer running forward with the traction. Up north there, the 233s. Oh, the Flammenwerfer goes down to the Panzerschreck. Panzerschreck trying to get another shot off there on the 233. Will it get it? It will, I think. Will it land? Oh, it does!
Nice. Also, the Panzervernichtungs's further down got the 233 on the road there as well. So that was very nice kills for Ghosty, taking out those early on. IG18 also takes out another of the SPW 233s there. So pretty much all of those ones on the top side dealt with already. And the Sturmschützen are actually getting close. Might be able to get a Panzerfaust off. Nah, he's going to fall those back. He was almost very close to be able to get that off.
Yeah, that was actually huge for Ghosty, because if those 233s survive, and get into his backlines, he has no way to stop them. Like, it's kind of like, oh, I would almost say it would have been game over right then. So really impressive from Ghosty preventing it, because again, that's big. That's 78 Sturm's big issue. That's why people that find this deck so exploitable.
Yeah, and everything does cost quite a lot. So like these Sturmschützen getting whittled down by the 233, I'm pretty sure the 233 is the same cost as a Sturmschützen. Oh no, it's like 10 points less.
It's 10, yeah, 10, but it's still. I mean, that's expensive for one squad of infantry, of course. I mean, you're spending a lot for every single one, and yeah, they slap hard, but they don't slap as hard as they used to, right? The game has power crept up, and 78 Sturm has not held up in terms of like super powerful infantry very well.
They're also very dependent on veterancy with the MP44s.
Yes.
For some reason, veterancy like really massively helps with the accuracy on the MP44 in like a big way and makes them super, super strong. But JU87 coming in on the top side will find the kill onto the Stug 3. Very nicely done. Will it take out the T26 as well? It does. Indeed. Nice double kill. Yeah,
that's why JU87s are one of the best AT planes in the game. They're slow enough that you can actually pick up multiple kills in each gun run.
Volksdotter went down on the bottom side to the T26, but meanwhile, on this hill, it has been secured quite dramatically by Mimile. Panzerschreck unloads, kills the 233, but this infantry is all over the place on this hill, and that's going to be quite difficult for Mimile to deal with. Then again, of course, we've got Ghosty's infantry controlling the reinforcing road there, so these infantry might remain isolated long enough to get surrounded on the front line, and then slowly picked off in the long term.
Yeah, both players have leaders, so they're not going to get squished in terms of territory. They should hold the territory all right. It's definitely very interesting. Mimile making good ground down south as well, and that's definitely helping him out a lot. SS Legionati eating up these Sturmschützen out in the open, but the Sturmschützen, they're like the only MP44 unit that's like pure MP44 that's actually still pretty good. Like, it hurts. They hit hard.
13 MP44s. This is a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah, and for some reason, if they only have like 10, it doesn't feel nearly as devastating. Like the Sturmgruppe out of Großdeutschland don't feel nearly as devastating as Sturmschützen out of 78th.
And the IG finally being finished off in the center. 2-2-2, going to get on top of the Sturmschützen on the bottom side. -2's trying to finish off the Pioneer Führer in the open, which would be a nice kill to get rid of some of the veterancy for Mimile, but has lost line of sight since the Sturmschützen went down.
Getting that MG42 in there should really help. The Martyr 2 might take out the Flammenwerfer here. I would say the Martyr 2's oddly positioned. He could put it to cover off the road much better than he did. It's kind of a weird placement, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to just move up slightly, so it has line of sight down the side of those buildings for sure. Early 1-2-2 coming in for Mimile. The nice thing about the 1-2-2 in the 17th SS is it does have a radio. So it can make use of corrected shots from like the Pioneer Führer in this case, but unfortunately the Pioneer Führer not quite close enough to allow corrected shot onto that Marder 2 that he was initially firing at. Now instead going to be aiming at the Flak 43, which is being covered by radio due to the Pioneer Führer on the hill.
Yeah, probably trying to open up the air for maybe another JU87 strike. We do see a Marder 2 there. That definitely needs to be taken care of at some point. Up north is SPW-233 finding infantry in the Yellow Forest down there, and the 222 still floating around, although the Panzervernichtung waiting for that to show its head.
Yeah, it seems like Mimile lost a couple of his infantry squads to these Begleitgrens. I swear there was more on this hill. They seem to have been picked apart.
Yeah, there was one other Legionati. He's dead. He was a little further north and got killed off. So, yeah, definitely interesting. This map is... I want to like this map, but this hill, this major defining hill on the red side really helps red hold a lot of ground for free with some great lines of sight.
Absolutely. And honestly, these hills actually really favor the 17th SS, or sorry, the 78 Sturm into the mid game due to things like IG-33s and, of course, the abundance of AT guns and such. So you can get a lot of power projection from these hills once you manage to take them back. And currently these Legionary not lasting too long as the Schützen open up on them with their double machine gun and the Panzergrenadier. Remember we used to rave about how good double MG42 used to be? Like it was some sort of amazing thing. And nowadays it's just like a bit meh.
Yeah, it's kind of like the standard. Like if you don't have at least a double MG42, you're kind of like a meh infantry squad. Like you're not very... Like think Panzergrenadier MG34s are so underperforming. Like they're not fun to use. Like they're just like, oh, MG34s, that's a shame.
Yeah. I mean, the Volksdeutsche still do well for their value.
Well, for 25 points, yes, but when you get up to 30 points and you're only getting MG34s, it's like, wow, I'm overpaying really bad.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. And Mimile running out of HE on his Marder 3. Easy done. That Marder 3 always going to be getting low on ammunition very quickly. It doesn't come with much ammunition on base. The Pioneer Führer did manage to get a HE grenade onto the Schützen, but now being fired at by the 37mm Flak 36 or Flak 37. Whenever I see those AT guns firing at infantry, it always reminds me of like Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah. Because that is the same one they used, was the 37mm.
It was brutal. That's a brutal scene.
It was strikingly more effective in that movie than it is in game. Strikingly so.
Absolutely.
Probably realistically so. I think if a 37mm explodes in your face, it's probably going to hurt more.
This mid area for Mimile is looking very, very sparse. There is not much here at all. The one Flak 38, or the Pack 38, sorry, is kind of trying to hold the line. Does take out the T26. The SPW 222 will be able to kill some of the infantry, but as soon as the Stug starts to make a move forwards, there is going to be plenty of flags to be taken by Ghosty. And meanwhile, Mimile is putting points into this bottom side, bringing in the Stug 4 here. And honestly, I'm not sure if there's too much to gain. Like, this river kind of makes it awkward to push across here and secure these flags.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, he has he doesn't know, but I mean, Mr. Ghosty doesn't really have anything here defending that flag in the town right there next to this little salient he's got going. But that's a ballsy play. Like, you're going pretty unsupported. Will this Pack 38 make it out of here? Oh, it looks like it will. The Martyr 2 lined up for a second, and then that was that, I guess. The SPW 222 does go down. Will the Stug push too far? Oh, the Pack 38 goes down to the Schützen just before the Stug rounds the corner. And
so just the Aufkläder there, they'll get spotted, they'll get taken out. That'll be pretty rough.
They're still hidden at the moment.
JU-87 on its way. Stug 3 out in the open, spotted by this Aufkläder. Will the Aufkläder go down before the JU-87 gets the kill?
He's down, but he still sees it. And down he goes.
Still sees it. Yeah, the MG42 is further up, had eyes. So it manages to get through with that. Very nicely done. That did fly straight into the Flak 37 there for a little while, so might end up taking enough damage to go down. But meanwhile, Pack 40 further up is taken out by the MGs.
Yeah, and it's easy to forget because we're so used to like Maverick on Maverick. These players are balanced in Juggernaut. They're not getting that many points here at the beginning, which is why it may feel like they're sitting kind of thin here and there because they haven't gotten that many points yet.
Yeah, it's a lot slower style of gameplay. That Schützen, though, just demolishing the Volksdeutsche in that transport very, very quickly indeed with the double MG42, plus the extra rifles there, of course, making a good difference. But that's going to be an extra flag in favor of Ghosty. And now Ghosty sitting on the 1311. Mimile had a really nice start, managed to get into some really good spots, but didn't really... Well, he couldn't really reinforce them properly because of the way that Ghosty had got behind him. This SPW 233 currently sitting on the hill with no ammo shows how effective that's probably been up there to help reduce some of the numbers of Ghosty's infantry, but he might want to invest potentially into some supply. He's bringing the 122 actually really, really far forwards there, so we might see a supply be brought in just to get value out of that.
Yeah, I think he's using the 122 as direct support. Looks like he's going to use it as a 2K, HE gun basically on that hill.
Yeah.
And then
it's also pretty good as a AT as well, obviously, for the Stug here, potentially, if it gets in range. Although the heat round on it is limited to the 1,500 meter range.
Yeah. We are in the B phase, though, so both players unlocking a little more, although Ghosty a little bit more, right? Because he's on this balanced income versus the Juggernaut income. I will say this game is very interesting because it really does show how much stronger Schützen are than Panzergrens. Just that simple 3 more guys seems to make them so much stronger. We see the Schützen consistently crushing Panzergrens in one-on-one combat.
Yeah, and that's when they're within the 500 meter range, of course. Like a max range is just sort of a coin flip as to who gets the most suppression first. But yeah, absolutely. At close range, the extra men really do make a big difference because it kind of snowballs when you have that suppression go down due to those extra rifles.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I'm not going to lie, I've casted 78th a couple times this season. They've not performed well overall in the stats. I did a stat video. Colonel Koenig put together a whole bunch of stats, and 78th did not perform very well. So it's nice to see them doing a little bit better, because this division used to be, you know, pretty cream of the crop. Like, never S tier, but always very strong. And it's kind of fallen off.
Yeah, it was always a solid pick after bans, for sure. Nowadays, it's definitely sort of middle of the pack.
Well, again, it's exploitable. I think everyone knows this division well enough that they know how to, you know, pick apart the lack of light AT, pick apart the super expensive infantry, pick apart the lack of air. You know, it's got some weaknesses, but what it does have is it's just got the top quality stuff, right? The best of the best stuff, generally speaking.
So you can see in the game so far that Mimile, he invested the points in the bottom side, didn't really get too aggressive, and now it's allowed Ghosty time to sort of reinforce his bottom side, and the Schützen there going to probably get a free kill onto this Pack 38, with the help of the last one, actually, that's coming on that bottom side as well. But the nice thing here is Ghosty's managed to develop his position into a 15-9, so he's actually putting the pressure on Mimile quite a lot now.
Well, I mean, technically, Ghosty is technically the aggressive deck, right? I mean, the longer into C phase we go, you know, after 10 minutes, it's all Mimile advantage from there, right? The first 10 minutes, Ghosty's still in the lead in C phase, but after 10 minutes, then Mimile's going to have the income advantage, essentially.
Yeah, well, after like 20 minutes total, unless you're talking about phase.
Well, yeah, so like in 10 minutes into C phase, they will equal out. And then every 10 minutes after that would be... Yeah. So it's just an odd, you know, it was definitely a counter pick. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just we don't see it super duper often. Although Mimile is well known for his meme juggernaut decks.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if Mimile can kind of stop this double tick, because he doesn't want the double tick to happen for too long, because then he won't have time to capitalize on his late game income. But so far, he's managed to at least take back the flag with the Sturm Pioneer in the mid, but the Schützen now pushing back forwards. More of these armored cars coming on into play. We've got the 222 ripping apart the back 40 and the IG-18 further up. The 231 assisting in the mid, although the IG-18 just landed a beautiful shot onto the 222 before getting blown up by the IG-33.
Infantry guns seem so strong lately. I don't know. I know nothing changed, but my goodness, it feels like they did.
I mean, they've just always been meta, haven't they?
I mean, no, IG-18's coming in and out. OB-25s are like god weapons, but IG-18, sometimes they're terrible, sometimes they're great, and lately they've been great. So good. Will this IG-33 shell land hard? Let's find out. Oh, it did. Oh.
That's rough for the 122 there. Because it's an artillery piece, it's, yeah, it took a lot of stress from that, and a lot of damage. 88 actually ends up being forced to move back, even though it potentially could have won the engagement there with the IG-33 with a couple more shots.
Yeah, I would have think. Yeah, would have got 2 or 3 shots in before the IG-33 fired again, so he would have suppressed it first. Although Ghosty fell back anyway, so it became irrelevant from that point. But interesting.
Yeah. Volksdeutscher coming in on the bottom side. The last Volksdeutscher that came in there got 1 shot out of the transport by the T-26, though. Didn't end up too well. But looks like Mimile here trying to get into a position where he can maybe put pressure on this bottom flag that's currently covered by the MG42. If he can get up onto the hill there a little bit further forwards, he will probably apply enough pressure, I think, get the front line over the flag.
Yeah, that's definitely a good position. A lot of times we see a lot more fighting happening over this hill on the bottom because it overlooks both flags down south, and it lets you exert a lot of control over those 2 positions if you can capture that hill comfortably.
So Stug 4 slowly chipping the Schützen when it had line of sight. IG-33, though, currently fire positioning on this bottom side. Looks like he's trying to make way for the Sturmschützen to come in, which have now been committed to this bottom side. 2 Sturmschützen heading up the hill. Sturmschützen heading for the location where the IG is currently firing and wasting a lot of ammunition. It's always a classic when you see these IGs be fire positioned at a location and then the player who does it forgets. Oh, yeah. Uses up all the ammunition. It happens a lot with the Grille as well, and the Grille has less ammo, so it's even worse.
Yeah, it's always rough. Because I really think you should only do it for 3 or 4 shots, because at that point the opponent's either falling back or they're dead, right? No soft target is surviving 4 shots from an IG-33. So, you know, and now we have 2 Sturmschützen and a Schützen coming in down south. This Volkdeutsch, oh, this poor man. He has so little chance. It's kind of hilarious.
And the firing line of the Sturmschützen coming into play. The Volkdeutsch got a good volley off initially.
But now they'll split their fire.
Sturmschützen, yeah, that's going to be rough.
Although Mimile is targeting the first one. Like, he gave the Volkdeutsch a specific attack order so it wouldn't switch targets. It's important to do for newer players. When you have 2 targets, pick one so they'll actually pin one down and then target the other one.
Yeah, you're going to manually micro those engagements for sure. The 1-2-2, nicely done by Mimile here. Currently trying to indirect fire the IG-33 so that he doesn't get direct fired by it back. And Ju-88 actually being invested into that, but the SDK Z71 going to force that away. Ju-87 coming in the meantime to try and take out Nigel, but that's not going to work. And yeah, all this AA is enough, more than enough to stop these, even shoot down the Ju-87 there. That was only being targeted by the Flak 43. That was some pretty good hits.
Well, Flak 43s are so much better than Flak 36. It's kind of nuts, actually. They just have a higher rate of fire. That's it. That's the only difference, and they're just obscenely better.
So, Volksdeutsche
double teamed.
Getting wrecked by the Schützen Begleitgrens. This bottom side has been completely overrun by Ghosty's infantry. And as we move on, unless Mimile can secure these close-ranged engagements with the Legionary, then he's going to be having a bad time. Does he have like a card of Legionary in phase C?
He put the second card in phase C. That is what happened. So he's out right now.
Definitely making him struggle.
And now we see the Ju-188 nuke bomber out of 78 Sturm with its 2 1,000 kilogram bombs. This is always like 78 Sturm has very little air force, but then it carries this really cost efficient, super powerful like nuke bomber that you never have any AA for.
Yeah, Sturmschützen absolutely destroy the transport coming up the hill there. The bombs hit nicely on the IG-33. Units just getting dismantled across the map. Ghosty doing a great job here. Schützen are going to come up on the 2-3-3 in the center as well. Get off their close range AT.
Oh.
Take that out for free. Really, really nasty losses in the last like 2 minutes there for Mimile. Does manage to get off a bombing strike on the bottom side at least. Get some value out of that finally. We'll take out the IG-33.
Ju-88's a nice bomber. It's very fast. Has a good loadout. Gets in, gets out in a hurry. Especially once it drops the bombs, it moves even faster. Like it's a very solid bomber.
Yeah, it's also extremely resilient.
Yeah.
With the highest resilience stats. Sturmpire's going to be securing the center there. Still 14, 10, 13, 11. Mimile managing to at least stop double tick temporarily. But that's all it seems to be so far, is just temporary hold across the map. Whilst it seems like the disparity in units is hugely in favor of Ghosty. He's managing to get a lot of value out of his units so far, which is something that you like to see for the 78 Sturm, because usually it's the opposite.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's C phase now, so can Mimile leverage his massive income to swing himself back in this game? We see reinforcements pouring in, but that's always like, people oftentimes when I make like beginner division deck videos, people are always like, well, what about 78 Sturm? I don't think this is an easy beginner div. Like, you have to play it really well, because otherwise, if you don't get tons of value out of every single unit, you're going to lose. You're going to get overwhelmed by cheaper infantry.
Yeah, I think these days, sort of like the spammy decks are probably easier to play. You know, things like Tatra and like, I don't know. That's the first one that came to mind with like the 38Ts and all of that. Yeah,
Festung. Yeah,
again, exactly. Off-map infantry. So I'm like,
yeah,
those ones are like relatively easy to play.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, 78 Sturm, it requires a lot of skill. Like, it's very easy to get just attritioned out and run over by fast-moving, cheap armored cars and infantry. Here comes this Ju-188 again. This thing is so frustrating when you play against this deck. It's got very good resilience. It will absolutely eviscerates everything in an area. Yeah. Like, all these units will die.
The big problem is, and some people might be like, oh, why isn't Mimile buying AA? Well, you don't usually buy AA against 78 Sturm because it's not like
Exactly.
the primary core of their like division.
Nope.
But you still have to worry about this this JU188 coming in. But then like you don't want to like overinvest into dealing with it because otherwise you kind of lose value on the ground in these sort of important infantry engagements. So yeah, that's why he's managing to get through with these bombing strikes that are being very, very effective right now. The other thing that's a problem for Mimile is because he has lost a lot of ground early on, these legionary that he's going to be able to use to win close range engagements later on won't be able to get into the close range in the first place.
Absolutely.
And that will stop him from getting decent value.
Yeah, and I would actually say even the thing is with Brest West, as foresty as it looks, it's actually a lot of yellow forest. I think this is the most yellow forest in the game, like even more than Cell. Cell is a lot of green forest. Brest West is mostly yellow, like if you really look close, and Legionati are not actually that great in yellow forest. Sturm shoots are incredible in yellow forest. So I definitely see Ghosty having thought that through. That's a thought process I could see him having, because the dude plays pretty next level when he plays this game. JU188 going down to the AA there too. Oof. Or JU88.
Yeah, there's definitely a good chance that Ghosty on his like tier of like divisions on this map, it has like 78 Sturm pretty high, because of that. Like the utilization of yellow cover is exactly what 78 Sturm loves to do. Not even with just its infantry, but also with like the Marders and the Nashorns. Like they benefit a lot from utilizing yellow cover. So yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I mean, Ghosty did get lucky with the roll of the red side of the map. I mean, it is better. There's no question about it that this map is pretty asymmetrical. But he's played it really well. That's not to take away from his skill in playing his division here on this map. Especially, I mean, it's 17th SS. This is a good division. There's no getting around that fact.
And now Nagel having a go at the 88 in the mid. I'm not sure that's going to end too well for the Nashorn.
I thought he was going to make it. I thought he was actually going to live through a game. No!
Goodbye, Nagel.
They have to die.
Tried.
Aces have to die, otherwise the game breaks when you try to quit.
It does. Absolutely, I agree.
It just shatters into a million pieces.
They're just so yellow on the map. They're just you can't not kill them.
Yes, you have to. The game won't allow them to live. Yeah, things not going well here. 17-7 with only 5 minutes remaining here for Mimile, unless he turns it around, and things aren't feeling very turnaroundy right now.
Yeah, it hasn't really got better since Mimile has got into Phase C.
No.
It seems to have just got worse.
No, it has not improved whatsoever. No position feels like he's on the verge of cracking it open or anything. Mimile, Ghosty is now turtled up. Here's a Nebelwerfer up north hitting that 88.
Oh, the next fun part of the 78 Sturm come into play. Can enough rockets land on target to kill the 88? Oh, that last one was close, but not quite.
You need two Nebelwerfers. You need two. Always get two.
Unless you're lucky.
They kill everything if there's two of them, and they kill next to nothing with one. It always makes me upset. It's not Katusha. It's not Katusha level of bad, but they're definitely far less exciting in singles. JU188 coming in. Here it comes.
Coming in for another one. But 18-6 for Mimile, or sorry, for Ghosty now. And that is rough.
It's coming back.
These 1,000 kilogram bombs are going to do a lot of damage.
Yep.
The Panzergren's running.
Get out of there, man. He's still in the transport. That's even worse. Oh, no.
Actually allowed them to survive.
Yeah, wow. Nice little play there.
Next level tech. Just far enough away to
not
get unloaded
instead
of destroyed.
I mean, that was pure luck, right? There's no way I didn't plan that.
There's no way.
Nebelwerfer 300 mil now responding and missing. Oh.
Where is that going?
It was going to where these infantry used to be, and they push forward.
It's just strange, though. Like, that you would use them for that. I don't know. If,
he's pushing in. That's why.
42 is worth, like, using for... I don't know.
Oh,
like, for me, if you're going to do that, maybe just fire, like, 3, and then fire 3 like somewhere else.
I would agree with that. Yeah, he should have broken it up. Should have split that shot up, and, like, he could have hit two sides of the forest even. It probably wouldn't fire that fast, but he was going for this push.
That Marder on the bottom side, literally 1 meter from the Sturmschützen getting a Panzer strike.
The Nebelwerfer 41 responded, and Almost killed the 42. Oh, he didn't move it.
Oh, that would have been beautiful.
Tis Mimile. Tis not microing your Nebelwerfer away.
The lazy micro almost getting completely punished there. Nashorns potentially going to look for some Panzerground kills here in the transports, but only 1 minute left in this game. Mimile, is there anything that he can do at this point?
I'm trying to like where he can even go. Ghosty has put all his infantry in like perfect positions now as well, like that just cover off reinforcement roads that go directly to any flag. Like this northern push has been absolutely destroyed. Down south, the Nashorn is cutting off the transport route. The Pack 40 does get the Nashorn, so maybe open up down here. Martyr 3 misses the Martyr 2 in this key moment and has fallen back. Oh, no.
I mean, the Martyr 2 has missed like 3 shots at that range. 4 shots now.
Well, it's sight.
So the Martyr 2 should have got the...
It has sight damage. Yeah, right? That decreases accuracy, correct? There it is.
I thought it just affected optics, but...
I don't know. We all know the accuracy formula in this game is questionable at best.
Well, 13-11.
JU-188
has put stuff in the right places to slow it down, but still 30 seconds left. Another, JU-188 coming in.
12-12. He has the 12-12 for like a quarter second. He's
Won't
doing
last
it.
long as that Panzergrain gets bombed. Yeah.
Yeah, me personally, in my head, I've created a rule of thumb that every unit should land a hit after 3 shots. And if a unit misses after 3, I start losing my crap. That is how it works for me, at least, in my head.
Fair enough.
I think that's reasonable.
Fair enough. Honestly, Mimile has done a good job here of chunking back at some of these units with like all of this infantry spam onto these flags, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough, quick enough. He lost too many points early on. The tickets have gone down. 3 seconds left.
We can see the beginnings of his Juggernaut idea coming to fruition, but just not soon enough, unfortunately, for him.
Didn't break past that 30-minute mark you were talking about.
Yeah, and well, that's, I mean, basically, it's not the level of Maverick versus Balanced or something, but when you're playing Balanced versus Juggernaut, that's kind of what you have to do, because Juggernaut will get way more points than you eventually, so you got to do something quick.
Yeah, well, there we go. 28 minutes, 42 seconds. Not long enough for Mimile to get the comeback. 2,930 kills to 2,800 or 2,080 losses for Ghosty. Very, very efficient KD. And I think we saw that throughout as the sort of unit disparity started to mount massively in Ghosty's favor as that went on.
Yeah, I mean, Ghosty did what he had to do with this division. It is strong if you can use your units well, if you're great at your micro. This division is phenomenal. I mean, it's got Schutzen are basically what Panzergrens always want it to be. Like, actually really good, like worth 30 points. But it's easy to get overwhelmed when all of your units cost 30 or more points, Really no standouts here in the KDs. Some Sturm Schutzen did some cool stuff. Pack 40 here or there. Mostly on Ghosty's side. Mimile's got nothing very notable, and that's not super surprising. His JU-87 had its fun little gun run at the beginning, which was very exciting. It always is when those things get a good gun run in. But then, of course, met its ultimate demise.
It's just interesting how like most of the infantry kills are on the side of Ghosty, and then it seems like Mimile basically got no value out of his legionaries or anything. So yeah, that really, really sucked for him. Yeah. But anything else you'd like to add?
No, good game to both players. Definitely an interesting one to see.
All right, well, that's it. Hopefully, guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.